Hey y'all, this is BG Codes and my name is bradgarropy. Welcome back to the stream. This morning's stream was kind of a fail. We were working on getting Drizzle integrated with Cloudflare D1, and it's not as easy as it should be. Cloudflare has some really awesome tech where Wrangler knows how to run a local SQLite database versus use your production SQLite database, but all the ORMs don't have a good way to integrate into that. I think that's a problem. I don't know who should be solving that problem, whether it's Cloudflare or like Drizzle, Prisma, whoever. But it should be solved because the first thing you want to do is have, when you're working on a team, is have a local environment and a staging environment and a production environment. Wrangler has that notion, but the ORMs don't, or at least they don't have ways to hook into it. Anyways, rough stream this morning. We're going to go do something that we know we can do. I'm going to integrate Zod for form data and search parameter validation into my Remix app starter. Hey, Ashish, thanks for joining. Feel free to drop some comments, say what's up, let me know what you're working on. But let's get going. So I've got Zod installed and ready to go. It's already essentially working here, so we've got this. And we'll just let it throw for now. There's two different parse methods. One is parse and one is safe parse. So this will be object from entries, and we'll grab the form data and we'll say form data entries. And I think I'm gonna make a helper here. Cool. I believe this is just going to throw if this is wrong. Oh, and if it's correct, then we'll say this. There, and now we know email comes out of it because the output of parse is what we're looking for. I guess we'll just call this schema. And I don't think I want to put schemas in separate places right now. I think I just want to leave it inside the actions and loaders. I did that on another project. And the schemas were all like named the same thing and they were barely different. And it's kind of sucked. Yes, there's a safe parse function. That's right. I'll worry about like getting to that here in a minute. But right now I'll just let it throw if it fails. And reload this window so we can get our app server back up and running. There we go. Okay, where's my Chrome window? Here it is. I checked out Archetype and Valibot as well. I didn't like them. Okay, cool. So that's working. And then let's just see if it does fail. Let's be like email, whatever. And now we can refresh its page. Reset this and boom. There, we threw the error. There it is. In this case, it says invalid email, and we'll handle this. And we'll probably move to Zod form data as well. Okay, so we need to find all of our actions. So we did forgot. Let's do new note, where it's just content. There we go, Z from Zod. Schema is going to be content, not email, just a string. And this will be content I almost already kind of want to abstract this out where you just pass in a schema. And then parse the form data. But again, we'll get there. Content string. Yep. Okay, what about this one? Okay, so we got the post situation where we are pulling the content out of the form data, validating it, running with it. Delete does not take that. We've got an error there. Okay. Oh, we don't have delete notes on these? Really? So if I sign in as what? Homer? What's up with the Chrome extension? That's weird. Oh yeah, we don't have delete note here. That's okay. Okay, so then we don't need an action there. This is our reset password action. No, we need an email from here. No, we don't. We need a new password, which is a string. And new password confirmation. Cool. Sentry, we don't need this anywhere here. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is sign in. Yep, we need it here. Probably the most important place to have it. So we'll import Zod. Then we need what? Email, password, and redirect URL. We just need to make sure that redirect URL defaults to... Okay, got email, password is just a string. And redirect URL is a... It defaults to that. Let's just log it out here. Email, password, and redirect URL. This is for sign in. Okay, so we'll do a sign in. We'll do homer@gmail.com. Give it a password. Yeah, okay, I'm aware. I'm getting pinged. Can we do optional with the default? Is that going to work? Okay, let's read about defaults in Zod. String default tuna. You parse it, it's tuna. Optionally, you can pass a function into default. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure URL is the right thing to use. Can I get a search here? Where's URL? Where can I find URL? To invalidate an optional form input, you can use the desired string validation with an empty string literal. This example validates an input that is optional, but needs to contain a valid URL. Oh, okay. I have this feeling that it's not liking... Let's just comment this line and try a couple scenarios. So email is going to be whatever, my email. Actually, we'll make it like the passwords for email and password for this Homer guy, which was password. And then the redirect URL. Let's just make it like my website. And let's see what that does. Yeah, okay, that validated. I don't think this is going to validate. Oh, it did. It did. Well, because it's a string. Okay, but if this is supposed to be a URL, I don't think this is going to validate. Yeah. Because slash is not a valid URL. Did they have any other like really helpful string helpers? What is a CIDR? Yeah, okay, no. Okay, so in this case, we'll just say, look, it's a string, and default is slash. Well, yeah, slash is not a valid URL, right? It's just a single character. So I think we'll have to loosen that to string, or else we'll write our own. And as long as it passes like whatever it is, like URL path or new URL, we should be good. Yeah, okay, that's working. And then if this now becomes undefined, we're still looking at our output here. Redirect URL is slash. I still expect it to be slash if we validate undefined. So this should still pass. Yep. And then if we look at our logs, this was transformed into slash. Nullable or null-ish? Yeah, let me give that a shot. Yeah, this is, look at that. This is kind of exactly what we're doing. It's like validating an optional URL. What's nullable? Yes, Josh, I've heard of a remix form. Yep. Okay, so far, I mean, I like what's going on. Let's try this null-ish thing. I'm not sure this is going to work. I think this is the same thing as optional. And this is just going to fail the URL step. We'll try null-ish, just in case, though. Yeah, it's not going to like it. So we could either do the union thing, or we could just keep it as a string, which is fine for me right now. Yeah, so I suppose optional is what we're looking for in this case. Yeah, but this works. I think the idea is we have to put a union here. And so if it's a URL, you validate the URL. Otherwise, you validate an empty string literal with a default value of slash. This gets the same thing done minus the URL. So let's just say, I'll put a quick to do like validate URL. Okay, and then the last thing we've got is this. Whoops. Import from Zod, email, password, and password confirmation. I even think Zod can do this, like making sure password and password confirmation are equal. I think I've done that before. Okay. There we go. And now I do think I want a helper for this. Josh, I'm not sure what you mean by encode the redirect URL payload. Let's go ahead and actually get this working right now. So really what we want is a z.union, which I believe takes an array. And we've got two things. One is a valid URL, or would this work? Is that essentially doing the same thing? Where was the documentation that we found? So here we've got... Oh, the encoding. Gotcha. URL is nullish. What is the resulting type of redirect URL? A string. Then why could this not be like that? I guess let's test the cases again. Password and redirect URL is... Let's do undefined and we'll log it out again. Okay, that worked as undefined. Okay, again. Okay, that also worked. And finally, what if we put an invalid redirect URL like that? Is that going to catch it? See, that didn't actually catch it. It's working. How so? Maybe because this is catching a string, so maybe that's why you have the literal. And maybe we just literally make it the slash, like that is a default. You probably can't literal off of defaults. Or you probably can't default after literal, rather. That's invalid. Good. Is slash valid? See, it doesn't like slash. Because again, these are partial URLs. Okay, we're just going for strings. That is totally fine. Okay, so at this point, what have we done? Install Zod. So we've touched all these files. What, don't we use params somewhere? Yeah, we need to get the params as well. Yes, string is an escape hatch. What I need to do is write something custom that validates essentially if like new URL parses with a base URL. That's an action. That's an action. Do I not have these in loader? In loaders? Okay, so we'll do it here as well. What page is this? We are updating a note. We want this to be a number. Okay. So let's test by updating this note. And we'll see if ID parses. So we'll go to notes. We'll go to first note. We'll say updated. Yeah, expected number received string. So I think what we need to do is validate this as a string, but then transform it. Which I never know how these work. So transform. Parse, then transform. Zod validates the input first, then passes it through a chain of transformations. Great. Note that string to number is an instance of the Zod effect subclass. It's not an instance of Zod string. If you want to use, you must apply those before. What are refinements? Okay, so I'll just use transform. And I see why they suggested number, because this literally just calls number with the thing. I also want to see the type of ID. Okay. So in this case, if we go it's a number now. Okay, cool. Perfect. So then this schema shows it as a number. Amazing. That's what we want. So you validate that it comes in as a string, then change it to a number. That's the type that we care about. Okay, those are those parameters. There's more parameters in the loader, which is basically the exact same thing. So this is the param schema, and this is the, what is this? Form schema. We're looking at token. We want token to be what? A string. Okay. I think that covers all of our bases. We have a couple places where we throw errors still. Let's not throw an error there. Let's just handle it. All of these notes not found. These can be handled. Let's double check our routes folder. We're looking for reset token. That's, yeah, that's a parameter like that. Okay, how do we change the validation message? And then these are the additional messages. Okay. Can I just say dot parse right on the end of this? Yeah. Okay, we'll just put the same validation error message everywhere. Nope, not found. Now here, we're going to have to handle that separately. All right. Now I kind of want a way to do this automatically for form data. Right now I don't have nested forms. I might in the future, but let's just make a quick helper for this. So in my utils, I've got what? Forms.ts. Oh, nice, dude. Hey, if you could link the Zod playground, that would be awesome. So parse form data is essentially this. So we'll just await request.form data. This is async. No worries, no worries. And now there was all this TypeScript stuff, type inference. I remember looking at this before. Writing generic functions. Zod type T. This approach is incorrect and limits TypeScript's ability. Okay, so I think this is what we have to do. So T extends Zod type any. Schema is T. Yes. As z dot infer T. Man, what is going on? Okay, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so now if we look at this, and here instead we say parse form data with the request and the schema. What is foo? Yep. That's what I want. And again, if we await this, now foo is what we want. Now we can get rid of form data. All we have to do is define our schemas. Cool. We'll just correct some of this here, and then we'll call this data. I don't like how you have to cast it. That's kind of weird, if you ask me. Like, shouldn't it infer this? But I guess this is inferring this anyways. I don't know. Okay, same thing here. We want content, parse form data, request, and schema. Sweet. That's new note. Now here, we'll do the same thing. Doesn't matter as much for the params. Hey, see ya, Sheesh. Thanks for hanging out. That's a note. Yep, and then form data. This is what we want to mess with here. So new password and password confirmation. And this is coming from the form schema. Reset. Now we got, so well, reset. There's 1, 2. Okay, now we got sign in. Basically, I'm looking for instances of this. And we want email, password, and redirect URL. think we need some tests here. Okay, we'll write some tests, some really simple ones. Does this take an object as an argument? Can I just say like email? No. Of course not. Then I guess we need a schema. There. Now we got a new request with form data as the body. And now we'll parse it. So it's request and schema. And so we expect data to equal that. And are they passing? Yeah. To await this becomes async. Okay. So basically the exact same thing. But instead of homer.email, we want something dumb like, yeah, invalid email. This becomes async. Yep. So now we're going to say what type of error is it? Yeah, sweet. Okay, 100% tests. There we go. That feels good. I think we have what we need here. Just check some email real quick. Yep. Okay, now obviously you need to handle all this stuff, but at least for now, what this is doing is it's putting the data with the correct types. Do I have any to-dos? Implement delete. Okay, so all of these are good. Okay, let's get a PR up for this. I think in this case, I'm ready to bump a version for this. So this will be 18. Also go to the changelog here. Validate form data and parameters with Zod. I love how the Zod website is just one giant page. They're like, we don't give a fuck. Okay, well, let's check out the preview here. Okay. we'll make a PR. So as all this stuff is running, let's check our changes. Installed Zod, form data. Let's go down to our util stuff, which makes sense. That looks good. This is just form data again. This has a parameter. And form data, same thing here. Okay, looks good. Did everything pass? Almost. End to end is still running. Almost there. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at this. All right, but in the meantime, I will solve that test error later. Right now, I'm gonna get ready for a workout. This was a very productive stream. I really like Zod. It makes me feel a whole lot better about data that's coming across the wire for form data. Mostly that it types it for you, which is like honestly the best benefit that Zod has, and everything that comes along with that, meaning area handling if people are submitting the wrong things and knowing what's coming into your system. So, thanks for watching this stream. I'm going to wrap this one up later, and this whole app starter is getting very close to being done. I just need to figure out like what database and where to deploy stuff. So appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.